Fstoppers.com has teamed up with Elia Licardi to create Photographing the World 3, the ultimate photography tutorial on all things landscape and cityscape photography. You're watching the behind-the-scenes series on the creation of this full tutorial, and if you'd like to learn more about the full product, head over to fstoppers.com/store.
Man, this really sucks. We're in one of the coolest places I've ever been. This is like this old medieval town that's like buried in the mountains. It actually looks like something out of Lord of the Rings. I told everyone this looks more like Lord of the Rings than New Zealand did. But unfortunately, the weather here is just horrible right now. Like, we were very close to getting snow, but it's about 40 degrees, so nothing's freezing. We just have water running everywhere. This could be a total fail. We've scheduled, what, 4 or 5 nights here now?
It looked good just a few hours ago.
I know.
Yeah, we've basically added 2 more nights onto this location because we all agree this is like the most beautiful location that we've been to so far. We don't want to miss this shot. As long as we were trapped inside, I thought we might as well work on some of our gear. All right, this is a brand new D500. And a single piece of dust has gotten on the sensor, and you can actually see it. Let me see if you can see it here. It's right here. And it's wrecking all of our footage. And if we take the lens off and look in there, we can see this piece of dust. And so we're trying to figure out how we can get it out of there without a blower or anything.
I don't think you've shrunk it before. So my suggestion was, why don't we just roll back a piece of this electrical tape to where it's a little sticky, and just like touch it and it would pull it off. Do you think that's going to leave a residue?
It could leave a residue. So I'm thinking, because we can see this piece of dust in here, a little piece of plastic like this, you could just touch the dust and it won't pull it out of the camera, but it will knock it off the sensor. Oh my gosh, that's really hard to...
I see it.
You do see it?
Yeah, but I don't think this is going to do anything.
Wait, now I see 2 pieces of dust in there.
Yeah, I do see 2.
I think you might be making it more dirty. This isn't the recommended way to clean your camera sensor.
Oh no! I mean, I feel like I see one there, there.
It made it worse. This camera's already kind of messed up because it's a huge piece of dust. It's wrecking all of our footage. So I'm just going all the way here. And I've got a piece of tape.
You're gonna do exactly what I said to do.
I am.
We're lucky Lee never became a doctor. That would have been a nightmare. Now this...
Okay, I got the big piece off. Now, I have hit the piece of dust twice, and it did not budge. Okay, I think I just got it. Of truth. I think that's the one that's been the biggest problem.
It looks so small there, though. It used to look like a watermark, like a drop of water. Now it looks like...
That's true.
I think it's gotten better. I think you should...
It is better.
You should do more.
I should do more? So...
What the...
You weren't recording when I just did this, but like, I got something even bigger on the sensor. So I took the tape, stuck it to my finger, and just pressed it on the sensor and smoothed it out to where it was like the tape was going across the entire sensor. Pulled it out, and now the sensor is totally clean. Like, this is at f22 right now. There is nothing. Look, there's one, I don't know if you can see that little dot right there.
Oh my gosh, like, I feel sick to my stomach. Like, the one DSLR we had that could shoot 4K was like out of commission.
Yeah.
And it was going to be like a paperweight. We had to carry it around everywhere. But
I still would not recommend doing that.
No one should ever do that.
We didn't have another option.
Desperate times call for retarded measures. Once you've been a photographer for like 10 years, you're able to do these sort of repairs.
Sadly, dusty cameras were not our only issue. This laptop, I guess it's not really a laptop. It's like a netbook with a GPU added or something. But the USB, it only has 2 USB jacks.
This is the Microsoft?
This is a brand new Microsoft Surface Book, and I can't complain too much because they gave it to me, so I can't be that mad. But like, It's like a $3,000 laptop. And the way that we edit is we connect the laptop to this server through Ethernet. But no new computers have Ethernet jacks anymore. I guess most people don't use them, and they're too thick. So we have to use these things, Ethernet USB adapters.
Yeah.
And the problem is, the second I connect Ethernet to this computer, the other USB jack becomes completely unreliable. So we use this little dongle here to connect to a wireless mouse. The mouse will start going crazy. Sometimes the mouse will draw so much power that this will cut off, and as I'm working, my connection to the server completely shuts off. So for the last 3 hours, I have just been trying to get this computer to work so that I can edit. And I think for what most people do with computers, they would never be able to notice this. They would be like, oh, my mouse is messing up a little bit, or like, oh, something cut out and came back real quick. But when you're connected to a server and it cuts out for a split second and comes back, it doesn't reconnect. It's like it's completely lost the connection. Then you have to go back into all this software and reconnect to it. So every time there's a problem, we know about it because it destroys the Premiere document that we're working on. All the files are lost.
Well, the good news here is I have almost completed a complete lesson, at least the intro to Atrani. So let's cut to that now while Lee cries.
So I'm going to pack up my camera gear, just like this, grab my umbrella, and we're going to head up and see if we can find a good view.
As with most of the towns that we visited in Italy, this one only had a single open restaurant. Luckily, it was pretty good, and for lunch, we actually had a decent meal. What is this?
This is fish and chips, which...
Have a bite of the fish.
Pretty good. I'm so happy for like a change. Just to have a salad and this will do me well.
Alright, have a sip. Have a shot,
So
actually. Have a shot.
we have to taste every Italian liqueur while we're here. We've done the limoncello, we've done the Nucino, whatever the one was we did earlier. This is Sambuca.
That night, it continued to rain, and when we got back to the apartment, we realized that the water was off. We went to sleep hoping that things would be better the next morning. So it's our 4th day here. We keep adding time on so that we can make this location work because we think it's so beautiful. And yet again, there's just nothing to photograph. We are in a cloud. That's the other issue. They're working on the water. So every night at like 9 p.m. the water cuts off. The water cut back on at like 9 a.m. this morning. Cut off again just now. It's like 10 or 11. And they said, oh, it might be 3 more hours before there's water. So not only are we trapped inside, but we don't have running water either. It's now 2 p.m. We still don't have water. Somebody just came by and gave us this to bathe with or to flush the toilet.
Do we have water yet?
No, we don't have water yet. We have jugs of water. Yeah, a shower would be nice. 4 days of this so that we can get this one shot for this tutorial. The sound means maybe the water's coming back on. Ooh, it's gonna blow.
So close. You can do it.
All right, now you get to do the dishes.
I'm still filming.
Oh, okay. So it's 3 p.m. The weather is not great, but there is some visibility. We're just gonna go out, we're gonna shoot some B-roll shots of Elias scouting around the area, and we're gonna try to start filming this lesson. I'm not sure that he's gonna get the picture he wants, but at the very least, we have to record something while we're here.
When you're on camera all the time, it takes a little while to get set up, and Lee and Patrick like to use 2 microphones, so dual microphones with these. I don't know if you guys can see that in this light, but they're like pom-poms, the dead cat microphone to keep the wind. So each one of these things has to run through my clothes, and then I'm wearing the transmitter that then goes right into their cameras. So this always takes an extra few minutes, and you have to do it before you put on all the layers, obviously. Another thing that's interesting you might not think about is sometimes we record the same shot over the course of 3 or 4 days. So when we do that, I have to kind of consider what was I wearing, and I have to kind of lay it out. So if we're working on one shot and I was wearing certain clothes, I have to make sure I wear those clothes again. Now the idea being that with their, Lee and Patrick's F-Stoppers movie magic, they can cut together things seamlessly. Last time when I was traveling with them in New Zealand, I didn't think it was possible, but now I just trust whatever they say. They're really good at making it seem seamless. So all I have to do is be camera ready and make sure I lay out the clothes that I'm gonna need so that they can cut everything together and make it seem like it's one day.
How are you feeling about the weather today?
I feel better about it today than I have over the last few days.
Do you think that we're actually going to get a lesson today?
I think we're gonna get a lesson in something.
This is your light stand carrying system.
Yeah.
That actually works a little better than I thought it would.
I didn't know that this could even do this, so I don't have the proper straps that came with the think tank, but
Yeah.
I usually travel with picture frame wire so that we can like attach a GoPro to a suction cup and still have it secure.
You guys have seen this little light panel that we use. We got this thing off of Amazon. I'm not even sure what the name of it is, but if you type in LED panel, you'll be able to find it. It comes with little snap-on gels that are magnetic, which are awesome to change the color of the light. And then we have found that the absolute easiest way to travel with this thing, we have just a super small collapsible light stand. We have this little bitty Oben ball head. So we can loosen it up with this right here and angle this, and it's much easier to use than a umbrella bracket, and much smaller as well. So this has actually been perfect for this trip so far. While we set up our cameras, Elia put up the drone, but before we could start rolling, the fog rolled in again. So we haven't started filming yet, but here comes the fog again.
Yeah.
This is what I was afraid of. We just hiked all the way up here to the spot. It didn't look great, but you still had good visibility. We could see the entire city and we could see the mountains and everything. I just got the camera set up, and check out our visibility now. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to stay here for 3 weeks to get this shot. So it is the 4th day of total failure on this lesson. We couldn't even see the city when we tried to film today. Luckily, we do have water at the moment, so I'm going to take a shower. And we just went to the grocery store, and Patrick is going to make a fine Italian delicacy, something like Chef Boyardee is known for.
Gambaroni.
Gambaroni.
Because they have shrimp nearby. And then here is this like pasta sauce that they sold, and this stuff tastes horrible. It tastes like V8 juice or something. It's like super celery-ish, maybe? It's just really bland. So I'm thinking, should we just dump the tomato sauce in the garlic butter and just hope for the best?
That seems like our only option.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go for it.
I'm gonna let you have the first bite since we put some rotten shrimp up in there.
I can't imagine this is gonna be good. I'll try to shrimp myself. Very fishy. Like you can.
So even you are incapable of making good Italian food here in Italy.
I think it's edible.
Edible, my favorite meal.
One thing I do think for certain though is I'm no Italian chef, but I could have served this at an Italian restaurant we've been to, and the customers would have been happy. They would have been like, "Oh, shrimp."
If I would have gotten this at that restaurant that was Elias' favorite restaurant ever, he said, if I had gotten this, I would have been like, that was pretty good, Elias. That was pretty good. Stay tuned for next week's episode when the weather finally clears up enough for us to capture the lesson. And if you'd like to learn more about the full tutorial, head over to fstoppers.com/store.